He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello everyone, it's Don Baine, the Gadget Professor, coming to you live and in color from our Scottsdale, Arizona studio. Welcome to the show. We are on episode 256. Thank you so much for tuning in. I just got back from a trip to Boston for a few days and to Rhode Island, and had some business there, but I'm back, definitely jet lagged. That 3 hours is like, but I'm slowly but surely coming out of it. We have a great gadget for you today, and this is what it looks like. It's a really cool Bluetooth speaker at a very reasonable price, put out by a company called iClever. So we'll touch that in a second or so. If you're new to the Gadget Professor, welcome. The easiest way to watch the show, I guess, is to subscribe to iTunes, but certainly you can go on our website, and that's right here. It would be www.thegadgetprofessor.com, and it's simple to watch the show right on the website. You just scroll down and click play, and there you go. Also, you may want to subscribe to the newsletter, which would be right here. And I highly recommend that you subscribe to the newsletters, particularly on a day like today, when we're going to have some absolutely cool freebies if you act quick. So if you just put in your newsletter, click the newsletter and put in your email address, you will definitely get the show notes as soon as the show is posted, which is typically every Thursday night. I know it's Friday, but as I said, I am a tad jet lagged, so that's not going to happen. So here we are on Friday, getting the show out for you today. So let's get right into it. First, I will mention that we have a wonderful Facebook page, and that's going to look like this. And I have all kinds of photos. There's some unbelievable fish and chips from Narragansett, Rhode Island, and then here I posted what I think is a really cool photo of the ships at the Narragansett Pier, and the fog is rolling in. If you look at the photo, it's a panoramic photo, and your ships are actually getting ready to go out and catch all the little fishies for you. And a lot of people don't realize that Narragansett, Rhode Island is the headquarters for calamari. I think 90 or 92% of all the calamari in the United States comes from Narragansett, Rhode Island. So that's a little fun fact for you. So let's get right into the gadget of the day, and that's put out by a company called iClever. And what I'm going to talk to you about is the IC-BTS-03 waterproof Bluetooth speakers. Now let's take a look at this close up, and here's what it looks like. It's kind of a cube. Well, it is a cube. Right here, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little power light, and it's actually on. The ergonomics of this are quite nice. It has a strap that you can hold on, or what I do is I actually hang this on a hook when I'm outside. It's great for outdoors. It's waterproof. I wouldn't dump it underneath the ocean for a long time, but it will resist splashes for sure. If it falls into the pool and you pull it out reasonably soon, you should be fine. In terms of controls, well, first let's point out that on the bottom they have a tripod connector, which is nice, so you can always put this, if you want, on whatever type of tripod connector that you so desire, and there's a million of those configurations out there. So that's just a handy little extra, if you will. Now, in terms of turning it on and off, there are basically 4 controls that you'll find on the side here. And if you look at those controls, you'll see a positive, which is to make the music louder, a negative to make the music softer. There's a button on the end, which is actually the on and off switch, and that's fairly simple. That would be right there, right there. So you turn it on and off that way, fair enough. And then in the middle, there's a switch that will allow you to jump tracks to go to the next track or go back. The other thing that this does is, because it's Bluetooth, it gives you a great Bluetooth speaker, and I have to tell you, I will let you listen to the music that this puts out. It's quite good. It really puts out a wallop. I know it's rated at 5 watts, but it's a good 5 watts. There's good bass, good high quality tone, good mid tones, and I was quite impressed with the the volume, the punch that this put out. Other things that it has is on the side here, and I've slightly opened this for you. I'm going to look at my other camera here. This is the watertight seal. You better make sure that's sealed if you're going to be around water. If you look on the if you look on the side here, you'll see two jacks. One jack is an input jack for power, and you get a supplied USB cord. One end goes into a USB jack or power supply. The other end, of course, is just going to go into this. It's a micro USB connector, nothing special. And you want to charge this for at least overnight before you use it. At least that's my recommendations. In terms of power, you're going to get a minimum of 8 hours of constant play on this. Some say 10, some say 12. I did let this rip for 8 hours straight and not one problem, so I was pretty impressed with that. The other jack that you'll see right there is a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, so if you don't have a Bluetooth system, you're able to plug this jack, which also comes with it, into one end, and the other end you can put it as the output device. You'd plug that actually into a headphone jack, and it will work as a wired speaker. So all that said, it's pretty good when it's powered. There will be a blue light, as I mentioned. When it's charging, it will go red, or when it's out of power, it will go red, and I haven't had any issues with that. The only thing you may want to pay attention to, as I said, is this little flap on the side. If you're going to be around water or using this at the ocean or the beach, where I think it's a great application, you just want to make sure that that is sealed tightly like so. It does fit in there, and it does become quite snug. So all in all, it's a really good device put out by a company called iClever. I'm going to turn on my iPad right now, and I'm going to pump some music through here, and we'll get a listen as to what that sounds. Now you got to remember that I'm going through a microphone, and there's other processing going on here, so I can't guarantee that this is going to sound exactly like what I'm hearing, because it won't. So I'm just going to play some music now, and it doesn't sound too loud because it's not all the way up. So you can hear the ping. Now the speaker is up all the way, but my volume on my iPad is down to like better than halfway down. So let's turn this up. So this is all the way up now. So it really does put out a wallop. Again, I don't know what you're hearing on the show, but it is putting out quite a wallop, and it's a very well-made device. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how much this costs, so let's take a look at that. Let's just go to Amazon, because that's easy to go to. And if you look on Amazon, this actual device is $19.99. Call it $20. That is an excellent price for this device. I'm not sure you're going to find another speaker around that's going to give you Bluetooth, the ability to connect this wire to a wire, and also it has the beautiful ability to answer your phone and be a remote speaker phone, and it works real well. As a matter of fact, if someone called me on this device rather than on my phone, this would have actually picked up the call, and I could have spoken both ways. I would hear the conversation, and they would hear me. So it's a great value for that kind of money for $20. They're claiming that it's a 12-hour playback time. I didn't test it that long. I ran it for approximately 8 hours, and it was good. The specs on this basically say compact and water resistant. Other advertisements you'll see says it's waterproof. So I'm going to go with the water resistant and air on the more conservative side. So it makes an ideal speaker for indoor and outdoor use. Great beach speaker, as I said. Excellent sound, and they say it's fashion designed. Well, it's a cube. You can see what it looks like. But again, it works real well, and for the $20, I don't think you're going to be unhappy. Now, the folks at iClever have been very zealous and generous in sending me products to review. And if you send me a product to review, I'm going to give you my opinion of it. I really do like the speaker, and when you look at the dollar value, it's an exceptional buy. That said, just by chance today, right before I went on the air with this show, I got an email alert from the folks at iClever, and you'll want to get the show notes for this, but you can now receive an iClever charger and an Amazon cable for free. Yeah. Now, this is only for the first 1,000 people. So what happens is you're going to order this iClever dual amp charger. It's 2 amps out, so you can charge 2 devices with 2 amps out, 2.4 amps out of that. Plus, you get a cord that has a lightning connector for your iOS. Now, you will purchase these items. You will purchase both of those. However, you will in return get an $18 gift card back for free from Amazon. So essentially the cost of this is free, or it might cost you, $1 to ship or whatever that may be. I don't know where you live. However, this is only good for 3 days. So right now, let's see, we're on June 3rd. So 3 days, June 6th, at the end of June 6th, this offer will expire, and I'm assuming after the first 1,000 people it will expire. So I can't tell you any more than that because that's all I know, but it's a great offer, and I don't see how you can lose. And even if you end up paying for both those items, they're well worth it. And I have just received those in the mail. I haven't even opened the box yet, but I will take a peek at those and run those through the paces and review that shortly. So all around, a great deal from the folks at iClever, and I thank them for that. And hop right on those show notes. Better subscribe to the show notes because you're going to get the links in the page to order that right on my show notes. So keep that in mind. So let's move on a little bit. This is from BGR. This is a website that has all kinds of tech news, and I frequently use it. But right now, this article is very interesting to me. Facebook, and you've heard of them, is supposedly listening into all your conversations that you have when you're on your phone or nearby your phone. And the app is on. Your Facebook app is on. Now, it's not for advertising purposes, so Facebook claims. They simply want to help you post easier and faster about the kind of content you might be consuming. It's none of their business what I'm saying, and it's outrageous that they even do this, and a lot of people don't know that they do it. And you can check on the internet for yourself. Just Google this Facebook listening to me. What this article goes on to do, and I will have it in the show notes, is tell you how to very easily turn off the Facebook listening properties, so you'll disconnect your audio and it will not be able to listen to you and record that anymore. Speaking of listening, I'm not sure you're aware that Google, and everybody's heard of that search engine, when you're in your phone and you go, hey, get this or get that, or how old is so-and-so or whatever, that's all being recorded. That's all being recorded, and that data is all being used. So there's not a way to turn that off. If you turn off the microphone functionality, you won't be able to use the functionality of the app itself as to question who is this or what about that. So keep that in mind. But again, it just irritates me that they do this, and a lot of people don't know. But if you watch the Gadget Professor show, you'll know all that stuff. All right. Now here's a cool app called Visual Tumblr. What this app actually lets you do is you put it on your laptop, and it will check everybody that's trying to use or is using your Wi-Fi. There's a number of these apps available. This one is exceptionally cool. And the reason I like this is because it gives you a map. It not only tells you who is on your system, but who you're around. So as you're driving in your car, you can actually see every single app, every single Wi-Fi spot that's out there. So it's a pretty powerful app, pretty crazy app, but it does work quite well. So if you're in a situation where you're trying to find an open Wi-Fi, this would definitely help you that. If you're in a situation where you think that someone's using your Wi-Fi, if you're at a hotel or whatever, this will tell you that also. And it will also tell you if there are any open Wi-Fi hotspots that you're not aware of. This will point them out to you. So you might want to check that out. Now, this app is called Windows Sysinstalls, and this is a remarkable, easy-to-use app. I have a laptop that's really starting to chug, and I've cleaned it. I've done everything I could, and then I realized that it's taking like 2 to 3 minutes to start up, which is not unusual for some of the systems that I have because I put so much stuff on them. In any event, I had to get rid of stuff, and I had to get it to start slower or else wipe it. So what I did is I actually used this one, Autoruns for Windows. And what it does is it's a simple app. It's real easy to use. It shows you everything that's happening when your system starts up. And it will actually advise you to shut it down or not to shut it down. It won't hurt anything. But I had so many things starting in the background, I didn't even realize it. But this runs you through it, and it also tells you how much juice, how much resources it's using in the startup process, and it also tells you that you could shut this off. It's not mandatory. You're not erasing anything, and you're not going to shut anything down. If you need to use the app, you can always go in and this will turn itself on. What you don't need is it to start up when the machine does, because that's what saps the speed. So this is a great app. It's 100% free. You may want to check this out. Now, here's our photo app of the week, and I've been using this for about 2 years now, and they make it for the Android also. This is called Zoner Photo Studio, and Zoner Photo Studio is an excellent app. Zoner Photo Studio handles your photo workflow from importing all the way through publishing, and amateurs won't get flooded, and the users find what they need. So essentially it organizes all your photos. It will allow you to crop, zoom, enlarge, do all kinds of things. It has a wonderful interface, and you can get your photos from everywhere because they talk to each other. So if you want a really cool photo app, this is a free download, and you'll want to check this out. I really highly recommend it. The other thing that I will mention is they have a free version and they have a pro version. This is a chart. This will be in the show notes, and you can compare what features you want versus what features you get in the free option. So if you like the pro version more, I think it's like $40 one-time shot for the year. Again, very reasonable. Some of the things that it does is it helps you with panoramas. It gives you GPS location where your photos were taken. You'll be able to share this with Twitter, email, and Facebook. A built-in photo gallery, screen capture, batch photo, compare picture tool, geotagging. I love geotagging. Essentially what geotagging is, when you take the picture, it gives you its longitude and latitude, and you can fill in whatever information you want, showing precisely where the photograph was taken and at what time. So that's a lot of fun. So there's a lot of things that this will do. It also does HDR, which you know I love, special type of photograph, high definition resolution. The free version does not let you do that, but the paid version does. So you check it out. I think you'll find it very interesting. And last tonight, I have a new fun travel website that I found. It's called Skyscanner. And what Skyscanner does is it basically aggregates all the airlines, the hotels, and the car rental facilities that are available, and it lets you pick the cream of the crop. What are the best deals out there at the exact time that you're on this site? And what I like about it is because it's an aggregator, it actually takes into account what's on Expedia, United Airlines, American Airlines, Travelocity, Priceline, Delta. So it's taking the cream of the crop of the best sites that are out there that are already giving you bargains. So this is another tool for your arsenal to actually tell you what the best values are in travel, whether you're taking an air flight or you're renting a car or a hotel or all three of those, and you can set up a search for whatever categories you want. So far it's been pretty good. I frequently have to go to Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is not an easy place to get to when you're living in Scottsdale, Arizona. But from what I see on this site, it does a pretty good job, particularly with the hotels and the car rentals, and it does give you great options with the air flights. So it's just another tool. You may want to check it out. I do like it. And that is going to wrap it up today for the Gadget Professor show. Make sure you get the show notes, because I'd love everybody to take advantage, if you can get in early enough, for that free charger and that cable, that lightning cable, for free. You can't beat the price, and iClever makes some really high quality products. I've been impressed with their quality and their service so far. So I will see everybody next week. So long from the Gadget Professor.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor, or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.